Good evening and hello. My name is Renee D. Waring, and I am the founder of Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries. Welcome to you all, and a special welcome to the new members of my community. I am glad to be able to speak with you now. Today, my presentation is on gun violence trauma. Mass shootings are happening weekly in our country, which instills fear and a sense of hopelessness and hypervigilance in individuals and communities. In this article, we will learn how trauma impacts survivors, professionals who care for victims, and areas left to suffer the impact. When gun violence happens, people want to know the quantitative data, such as the number of people killed or wounded in the mass shooting. However, trauma has far-reaching effect on individuals, survivors, witnesses, the community, and sometimes the nation at large. The more social workers know about the effects of the trauma, they can better respond to the trauma, particularly in communities where gun violence is an everyday occurrence. Gun violence is a systematic trauma in that it permeates and impacts the social interpersonal systems of those who were shot, says Charles Figley, PhD, and a professor of social work and director of Traumatology Institute in Tulane University in New Orleans. The mental health effects of gun violence can include anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Consider the following. Gun violence survivors interviewed by Francis in a study of 2018 reported increased fear, vigilance, and some were so fearful that they did not want to leave their homes. Within a group of urban adolescent girls assessed at an adolescent medical clinic, two-thirds of those exposed to violence, including gun violence, met PTSD symptom criteria according to Horowitz, Weine, and Jekel study of 1995. Sullivan and Weiss in the study of 2017 found that women who were survivors of intimate partner violence were likely to have more severe symptoms of PTSD if they had been threatened with a firearm by their intimate partners or feared that their intimate partners would use a firearm against them. Nearly one-third of parents in the Washington, D.C. area surveyed after the 2002 Beltway sniper attack said that their children experienced at least one psychological distress symptom related to the shootings. Self-Brown, study of Self-Brown, Massetti, Chen, and Schulden of 2011. Marcius LCSW-C PhD has worked in private practice in Rockland, Maryland. He discovered that fear leads many survivors of gun violence to avoid situations that remind them of the shooting incident they experienced. The clients can experience agitation and sleep disturbances, react in fear to anyone who resembles the perpetrators, and worry that perpetrators are going to seek revenge. The survivors avoid spending time in the area where the incident occurred. Trauma is also experienced by first responders to a scene where gun violence has occurred, to health workers who see the horrific damage that gun violence causes on people's bodies, minds, and emotions. Chad Dion Lessiter, Master of Social Work, Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission, said, quote, there are a lot of people walking around with undiagnosed and unacknowledged PTSD, Lessiter says. Trauma impact can be manifest if a person is repeatedly exposed to gun violence. Most often, gun violence survivors are similar to war veterans who adapt to being exposed to danger and skilled at staying safe. Fellinger says examples of such adaptive behaviors include learning to interpret noises, faces, body language for possible threats. In these ways, gun violence survivors can learn to accommodate violence in their lives, but comes to the cost at a cost of their psychosocial, medical, and mental health, Figley says. In communities where gun violence is common, residents can experience hopelessness and a sense of violence in just part of everyday life. It's just part of everyday life. Exacerbating the problem is that people living with such communities often face barriers such as poverty, lack of education, and minimal job prospects that limit their options for the future, Francis says. In addition to mental health problems, can affect gun violence survivors' physical healing. A study of adults hospitalized for firearm-related injury found that those with pre-existing depression had increased risk of discharge to care facility or in-hospital mortality. Kalesan and Galea, study of 2015. Thus ends my presentation for today. I am glad to be able to share with you all today. I hope that you found my presentation to be both interesting and informative. My next presentation will be on the fourth Friday of next month. Please view it and have your family and friends view it also. I would like for them to join my community by going on my website and filling out the pop-up contact form. My website is www.uniquelyandwonderfullymadeministries.com. I repeat, www.uniquelyandwonderfullymadeministries.com. You can find my past videos on my website. My email address is mirecovery74@gmail.com. Send me your questions, concerns, and prayer requests. I would love to be invited to speak to your group on hot topics on mental health. Please send me an email concerning this. I am the founder of Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries. My name is Renee D. Warring, and I am the Warrior Warring.